Yet another season of 30 Ages, and we're player number 3 with Blix and Takustu the second. Blix picks up Engineering Genius, and Takustu takes Switchland and the Library of Alexandria, which makes sense. Let's take a brief look at the available cards. Looking at leaders, nothing amazing, although a few solid options, but no top tier leaders. Then the Wanderers, the library is gone, but there's still Roman roads, which I think are right here. Oh, interesting. And Colosseum is pretty strong as well, so we might just wait for the Colosseum. I think that there's a decent chance we might see it. Stonehenge is a viable plan B, though I'm not a fan. Looking at age 1, there's no Jan Ziska. Nostradamus is here, which is a pretty good option. There is Columbus, but no Suez Canal. The other leaders are good, but a bit more situational. Himeji Castle is here, as is University of Carolina if you get it early. For age 2, the Louvre and Eiffel Tower are here, Harvard College for fixing science if necessary. Less excited about Railroad and Kremlin. Leaders, Napoleon is here, but there's no Nobel. Bach could be quite a powerhouse when it comes to points, and what, if you get him early, can fix some age 1 mishaps. The others, interesting, but a bit more situational. For age 3, Red Cross is here, so food could be interesting. Then 3 of the base game wonders, which are decent for points, especially with Bach available. Hollywood and Bach could be quite a bit. And Manhattan Project. I'm still learning the ropes around this one. For age 3 leaders, Bill Gates is here, quite a powerhouse, as is Churchill. There's no coup d'etat, so I would say the other leaders a bit more situational than Gates and Churchill. So looking at the first turn, I would say the options are honestly not phenomenal. I guess I will go with Roman roads and Ridgeland. Um, I think Roman roads is a pretty strong wonder. Honestly, I would put it on par with pyramids and library. No one has picked a leader yet, which is interesting. I wonder if Blix will take. He could take Caesar, which means Tukustu may not have an AJ leader, and we will take whatever shows up later. And Honestly, of these 5, I would say Modus and Boudica are pretty mediocre, so we might have to skip an age a leader. Um, Another option is to take Ashoka and Roman roads. I'm not a big fan of this because we are committing 4 actions to Roman roads, and we're still gonna have to pick up stray cards for Ashoka. With that said, we are third, which is a good position for Ashoka. There's the best chance we'll get um, relevant cards here, and we can delay between Ashoka and Roman roads. We can delay our third mine by quite a bit. We might actually skip it completely. So let's see how this turns out. A lot of it depends on which age 1 cards come up now. Oh wow, all the leaders showed up. Are these literally all of them? Yes, they are. That's a bit of a shame. I would have preferred something else shows up. Yeah, and now Blix probably taking Caesar and starting the Colosseum. That's a pretty strong military opening. And Takustu, what is he gonna do? Maybe he'll counter with Colossus. Either way, it looks like he's gonna have to spend 2 actions on a leader, which is fine with me.
Blix takes Julius Caesar, elects him, takes Colosseum, and builds a mine. Yep, I think that was to be expected. Very nice military opening. Takutsu is next. He pays 2 actions for Cleopatra, elects her, and builds a lab. Interesting. Um, I guess having a leader is important, but 2 actions seem excessive, especially when Da Vinci is right around the corner. Oh wow, both Himeji and Taj Mahal showed up. So, let's see. We can elect Ashoka and take Cold Applause and I guess Open Crow. Yeah, this seems sensible. gonna be a while before we get this code of laws. Another option is to take Da Vinci. So to clarify, I want to fulfill the requirements for Ashoka. And since Genghis Khan is right around the corner and Blix is playing Caesar, let's see, which other leaders do we have here? Yeah, we have Nostradamus, we have Joan of Arc. I think I'm going to wait for a more military leader than Da Vinci. So I'm going to take Code of Laws and either Urban Growth or Stockpile. Let's go with Urban Growth. And I don't think we need Stockpile. I think that with Ashoka we're going to have a pile of resources here. And I suspect that next turn we're going to get this lab, aiming to get this Code of Laws sooner rather than later, and then start working on the Roman road. Playing with Ashoka is a bit tricky because we are going to have a lot of stuff in the bank. And all three wonders just showed up. Is anyone going to be able to complete and pick up the next one? I mean, Blix might be able to get the Colosseum and pick up Forbidden City, but honestly seems unlikely. So low presence for H1 wonders. Corlin and Silk Road are decent, but actually since Silk Road is here, is there any way we get Silk Road and Roman roads? That's so many actions though. Pretty much require both Code of Laws and Masonry. Yeah, that seems unlikely. I'm not going to gamble on it. And we have enough resources as it is. Show me defense cards, because we have a crazy Caesar. Oh, perfect. I think that's going to go to Kustu next round.
Blix sees an event, reveals development of politics, probably going to see another event, yeah. Reveals development of religion, which he misses. Interesting. That was aggressive. Increases population, picks up Da Vinci for 2 actions, and starts working on the Colosseum. That's a bit of an investment. He pretty much assumes he's getting this alchemy, so we might just snag it because we can. I'm a big fan of denying alchemy to Da Vinci players. Takustu is starting the library, increases population, builds a mine, and increases population again. Yeah, that makes sense. And we are next. On one hand, denying the alchemy is so tempting. On the other, we really are going to be stressed for actions. I mean, we want 2 actions just for building this, right? Let's see. We're going to build a temple, and we're going to do this. Oh, and we have 2 actions left, actually. So we could pick up the alchemy, right? I do need to remember that we have a Roman rose to finish. Honestly, we can wait with it for a bit. The Age 1 wonders are mostly gone. There's no Kubernetes in this game, right? Okay, so the bread and circuses are not a huge priority. And we might want to go for Genghis Khan because we do have these phalanx here. Um, on the other hand, I'm a fan of keeping Ashoka as long as possible. I'm actually pretty disappointed there's no yellows here. We might actually take Han just to, like, we might do this just to activate the Ashoka food, but yeah, I think this is a tad bit aggressive. Let's take the alchemy, and then next turn we can grab one of these yellows. And I think that's gonna be good enough for us. The game with Ashoka is a bit weird, because we are gonna get more resources and we want to keep him as long as possible. Da Vinci's gone, Genghis Khan is gone, but there's still Nostradamus. Now that we got a temple, Joan of Arc is a decent option. Columbus, and actually, if we're lucky and Eleanor appears late in the age, that's when we want her. We want her for 1 or 2 turns, and then bank, and then get these banked civil actions. So I'm actually pretty happy with how this looks. I think the main question is, do we want to take this alchemy? Yeah, Blix is finishing his Colosseum. Yeah, I don't want him to finish the Colosseum and pick up alchemy and even have a spare action for increasing population or getting reserves. Plus, who knows what he's gonna come up with the deck, right? He seems to be pretty aggressive with it. He didn't have any free population and he seeded 2 events. So, actually now I'm a bit uncomfortable with this because we do leave we do go with unused population, with no used population. So if development of warfare shows up, that might be a bit tricky. I mean, there's 1 in 3 chance it's going to show up. I think all 3 of these events are going to be gone by our next turn. We have alchemy, so we're probably going to put scientific breakthrough in the deck, right? Um, I think that this is just a risk we're going to have to take. I mean, what's the alternative? Increase population and taking Genghis Khan? Um, let's think about it some more. Yeah, I don't think that's the way to go. So let's rewind. Um, let's offer the open borders to Takustu. Doesn't seem like he's doing any crazy military stuff, and then continue with the previous plan for the turn. Excellent. Pact was accepted. We're going to build a temple. We're going to increase pop and build this lab, and we will take the alchemy. Everything is planned. It's going to be a bit of a bummer if Blix reveals a development of warfare. Am I correct that Takustu did not use the development of? Oh, he didn't have population. So both of them both of them missed on religion. So I think it's not going to be a huge deal if we miss on warfare. It's just going to balance the scale. And then on our turn, we're going to increase pop and build that warrior using actions. Okay, I think that is good. And then next turn, we're going to work on the Roman roads. And the following turn, we're going to get Code of Laws. So let's discard probably the territory. I don't see that happening. We didn't see any science impacts, right? Okay. Blix reveals the development of crafts. Why does he keep seeding events? Does he have what to do with all these resources? Finishes Colosseum, increase population. I guess he does. Builds a warrior. Increase population again. A bit concerned about all of these events. The Kustu is next. She also sees an event. The event of Still Alive. She keeps working in the library and finishes it. Picks up irrigation, cultural heritage, and builds a warrior. So we're last. The curse, less than military. The curse of being last in a 3-player game. We're not going to see anything. There's knights all the way here. Let's see. Can't get the Code of Laws, unfortunately. But we could raise population or develop alchemy. Not super happy with either of these, to be honest. I should probably develop alchemy, right? But that delays the Code of Laws. And then now I'm stuck with a lot of actions. How do we deal with these? Let's see. If we do this, I guess that's one way to deal with it. Still last on military. And we make no progress on Roman roads, and we don't trigger a Shoga. Not ideal. So let's try something else. How important is this one science? Let's see. So this allows us to still trigger a Shogun. Should probably increase population at least once. Let's say we build a warrior. Yeah, and building these don't really help us with corruption. We can build one stage, but that's about it. Could get another warrior. Build a stage. And we're exactly one action short to pick up these knights. Is Blix gonna take them? Probably has Colosseum. And then Takustu might take the other one, and we'll be in trouble. So we might want to spend 3 actions on these knights. Blick's gonna spend 3 actions on knights. Why didn't he use the engineering genius A? Very confusing. Ah, he wanted to avoid corruption. Maybe we just take the corruption so we can pick up the knights. And then next turn we can get Code of Laws. Finish this wonder. No point sitting an event right now, right? I'm pretty concerned about reds. Hmm. Maybe this is gonna be the way to go. And pick up this urban growth. Yeah, Blix needs to spend 3 actions for a knight. He might do it, but if he does, we'll take the swordsman. And I think Tekustu is gonna take both. And Blix might just take swordsman, right? For 2 actions. We should start thinking about finishing this Roman road. I mean, we have time, right? We don't need it +1 food from Ashoka yet, right? Have we seen Masonry already? We haven't. We might actually go for Masonry just so we can finish this a bit more effectively. What if we just finish this now? Does it help us in any way? We're gonna raise population. We're gonna finish this. Could do this. We just can +1 science, but it's not a huge deal, right? We are drowning in food, and reds would be a spectacular disaster. Yeah, I don't like this. I'd rather go with the alchemy plan. I think it makes more sense. We don't have corruption. We can keep working on this next turn while building up the Roman roads. Yeah, we're gonna lose these 4. And then, yeah, we're still gonna have corruption, right? We're gonna lose 4 cubes. We're gonna use 2 of them. 1 for the wonder, 1 to upgrade. Not ideal. We might not use urban growth then, just to avoid corruption. Should we pick something else, which is not urban growth, if that's the case? Maybe we shouldn't get urban growth. 2, 4, 5, 2, 4. If we take any of these cards, Blix can get knights for 2 actions. We could upgrade this now. That's a nice chunk of science, so early in the age. We're missing an Ashoka trigger though. This could be a problem down the line. Yeah, not taking this loses us 3 million stones. That doesn't make sense. So we could risk a corruption and still be 1 stone ahead. Is Blix gonna continue spamming the event? He might. So maybe we want to do this. We don't need a person, right? And we did bank a person because we didn't build a mine. So maybe we'll go with this. So we're a bit safer. Force the Kustu to spend his resources on getting more military. This is a bit weird because we still want to go for phalanx, but this might be a way to a bit safer, right? And now we don't have to worry about corruption. Next turn we can upgrade, we can build a step. Okay, weird game. We might still get Columbus, so we're gonna keep the West Territory. And the scientific breakthrough. Yeah, we might pick up Eleanor. She's a nice transition at the end of the age. Blix reveals knowledge of the ancients. Interestingly enough, we actually get some resources out of this. And then barbarians. Nothing happens with this. Picks up the swordsman, develops them, upgrades a warrior, and takes irrigation. That's good. So the knights are safe. We'll actually get them for one action. The Custos event reveals 4A. Surprised he did that. He's last on military. Takes one of the knights, builds a temple, picks frugality. Okay, we're still in a good place in military. And I'm actually going to see the scientific breakthrough, I think. We are getting some resources, which it looks like we can't use, unfortunately. So we're probably going to get hit by corruption. Let's see what happens. But yes, I am going to hit this scientific breakthrough. Even more resources. And how much food do we want here? We could get 3 food and less next turn increase population again. So that's an interesting option. I definitely want at least 1 food here, right? But we might just lose all of these resources now. Um, let's see if we can actually do something with them. I'm not going to build any more warriors, that's a waste. I could do this, and yeah, now we only have 2 corruption. Should we take another food? This dude is going to become a knight, right? Do we want another person? I don't know if we do, I think we're good. I am going to get knights and breakthrough. And unfortunately we're 1 science off from getting both of these next turn. But great pickup, getting these for 1 action each. I think next turn is going to be finally getting these Roman roads. I don't think we need another person. We're losing resources, so let's just stock up on resources, I think. And yeah, we have so much food. Yeah, we're gonna be hit with corruption again, unfortunately. Ashoka is great, but not for 2 resource producing events in a row. And I'm not really seeing a good dump here. We need to be apprehensive that leaders are running out. We're not getting Eleanor, unfortunately. Actually, do we want to take her right now? Probably not, but let's try it. How will that look? Yeah, I want to pick these up. And then there's even more corruption. Unfortunately, no Eleanor. We could take 2 food. I don't think we need to. We're gonna get one other population in this age anyway. We don't need any more than that. Nowhere to dump this, right? Not enough. We don't have enough houses, whatever it's called, limit here. And we still have a couple of turns to finish the wonder. So we can actually go for knights next turn. Build some knights. In fact, do we want to get 2 knights next turn? If yes, then we need 1 more food. That's an interesting direction to go. Because we're not going to have a sink for all these resources, right? Okay, so let's take one more food out of this, and hopefully there's no rats. Although who knows? So much stuff in the deck, and what did I? What have I done? Okay, yes, and we're gonna do this. Next turn we can get the knights, increase population, build a knight, potentially build another knight if necessary, and then the following turn we're gonna finish the Roman roads. Does this benefit us? We're gonna be 3, then 0. I don't know if we're gonna have 2 more turns to get food before the age ends. This refunds us 1 token, right? So we're actually here, but we're gonna build a population, which means we drain all the way to here. But I think we're gonna have 4 food. Yeah, we're gonna get 2 more hits off Ashoka, so I think we're gonna have 4 food. Actually we won't, because we're not gonna have a trio in hand next turn, right? We're gonna get the knights. You know what? We might have a trio. We might have something like Michelangelo and I don't know, a Richland. This is so tricky. Is there a concern that we're gonna lose the wonder? I think that might be becoming a real concern, right? If we don't finish it next turn. Yeah, I don't think we. I think next turn we need to finish the wonder. Wait, let's do the math. The deck goes down to 16. Yeah, and there's at least 6 cards disappearing every round. So 16, then at the end of our turn is going to be at least 10, maybe even less. And then if these two go away, it's 4, so that's 6. It's pretty risky. It really depends on what these guys do with their turns. I mean, he's pretty full. Nobody has actions. And push comes to shove, we can still finish his dash next. We can still finish it next turn. We just lose 1 stone that becomes food, and we might end up using anyway. Okay, so I don't think it's a huge risk. I think we can go for it. Yep, we're gonna get corruption. Okay, let's see what happens next. Blix reveals pestilence and scientific breakthrough, which is nice for us. Increases population twice. Starts the Silk Road. Builds a swordsman. Builds another swordsman. Adopts fighting band. Oh wow, that's a nice military jump for him. Quite aggressive. Takustu is next. Picks up Joan of Arc and elects her. Increases population. Develops knights. Build the knights. And adopts medieval army and takes this breakthrough. Well done. We're next. We're not gonna see an event. Um, we are losing 1 population, so it's a good thing we prepared with this foray. We can now research both of these, which is actually quite important. Get this knight going and adopt phalanx. We have 2 actions remaining. We could start working on the wonder. This is a bit of a risk because we might run out. It might just poof disappear. And also we're not triggering Ashoka here. So we do have a vast territory, so we want to wait for Columbus. And yeah, we're guaranteed to get Columbus next turn. Since we have Code of Laws, should we pick up Theocracy? I think that might actually work very nicely. So let's get Theocracy, and let's get Richland, just to trigger Ashoka. And there's going to be 9 cards left, so let's pray that we're going to get another hit on this age. I think we might. Both of them are full. and then we can finish this next turn. With that said, it might just go away. I mean, 5 actions is quite a bit. I think ideally, next turn is going to be pick up Columbus, elect Columbus, finish Roman roads. Let's see if that actually materializes. Yep, we're going to face corruption. We don't need another phalanx, we don't need another territory. We might actually switch to this medieval army soon. Blix upgrades warriors, takes Code of Laws, picks up Da Vinci, and develops Code of Laws. Starts working on the Silk Road with an engineering genius, develops irrigation, and upgrades it. So he's not wired for the next event with Silk Road, so I think this is pretty much a waste for him at the moment. The Kustu's next. Doesn't see an event. Here's the Nostradamus we want. Let's see if the deck runs out or not. Upgrade the farm, picks up reserves, upgrades another farm. Yeah, we're super safe on this. Should we see an event? Takusto did not, so it might be something military related. On the other hand, he didn't fix his military. And there is some pretty nasty events in the deck yet, right? We're happy with rats. The only downside... Oh, here's Columbus. Yeah, we're not going to see this vast territory when we have Columbus right here. I think I'm going to stick to the plan. Take Columbus, pick up Columbus, finish the wonder. I think that's the course of action we want to take. We keep a yellow. We're good in military. We don't need any of these cards. Next turn we're going into vast territory. We're generating one less pop of stone from the Roman roads, and then it's going to switch into science. I'm going to have a buttload of science. I wish we could have gotten this theocracy beforehand, because I am slightly concerned about Dark Ages. Yeah, if Blixit triggers Dark Ages now, then he's going to be pretty happy. But I don't think there's anything I can do about that, right? Unless I give up on Columbus, which in this case means giving up on Vest territory, which is madness. We could give up on Roman roads, but I think it's a pretty good wonder. Let's check the alternative for a minute. Let's say we don't take the Roman roads, we get theocracy instead, and we're safe on happiness. We're not going to increase population, right? Which is a bit of a bummer, but not a huge deal because we're going to get West territory next turn. We're passing on the wonder, which means one less science. I guess we could shuffle this here and change tactic to go into 11. we still have corruption. I guess that's just the way it is. Yeah, I don't like this. I want the one more. I think it makes sense to finish this. I mean, it gives us, between this and West Territory, we're pretty much done with population this game. Theocracy can wait a turn. Worst case, Dark Ages hit. We can still get Theocracy next turn. It's not a huge deal. This is a late Roman roads though, but it's okay because, I mean, 3 of these wonders showed up early. Look, they're gone, no one got them. And the Universitas Carolina showing up this late is really not helpful. Um, and as far as Age A wonders are concerned, I think Roman roads is the one you can delay. What did we lose on this? We lost some. We lost some ore, and maybe yeah, we didn't even lose. We might have lost one food. We lost some ore. We might have lost one. We might have lost one food. But that's about it. And now we're getting science off it, which is a nice payoff with the 2 alchemies we have. And we're getting a population along with these 3. We're going to be right here, which is fantastic, right? We can next turn increase, the following turn increase. I think I'm happy with it. Yeah, that's good enough. What can we lose? We can lose one of these, I think. Are we expecting colonies? I mean, there's 5 unknown cards in the deck, right? So we should expect colonies. I'm not super happy about giving up on this medieval army. But there's another one. Okay, we're good. We can discard this. There's another one. Really curious what this event is that Takusto didn't do anything about it. Plex reveals Reign of Terror, and Takusto is going to lose one population. So this is what Takusto did not want to trigger. Oh, destroying a mine. Interesting. Finishes the Silk Road. That's a pretty late Silk Road, right? And it still doesn't have any yellow cards to build on this. So why did he finish this instead of maybe corruption? I don't know. Takusto is next. Picks up Swordsman. Develops Swordsman. Increases population. Builds a Swordsman. Takes Urban Growth. So he is still last on the military. Do we need this West territory right now? I guess we might as well, since we don't have anything else to do. But let's see what we do with our turn. We could go for Theocracy, although it is a bit late. I don't think we're picking up Harvard. We might pick up Wave of Nationalism. We're low on resource production, and this is a lot of rocks. So let's put this in the maybe pile. We need to do something with our resources, but we don't really have what to do with these 6 resources. I guess we could change this warrior into a knight in preparation of maybe moving into medieval army. With that said, we are losing a card on this, which is probably a bad idea. So let's see if we're losing 2 military cards on that, which is not what we want to do right now. We could start a very late Universitas Carolina. Probably bad idea, to be honest. Let's see which H2. Yeah, there's Louvre. There's Harvard College right around the corner, which we might be able to pick up. Probably not. I think the Kustu might take it. But even if we don't, the others are nice. Really a shame that you don't have anything to do with these resources. Yeah, these cards I think are too late. We could get the Theocracy going. Oh, and if we do that, we can destroy a temple to build a knight. Yeah, this seems more reasonable. And then we will pick the Wave of Nationalism and probably increase population on top of this vast territory. So yeah, let's do that. Um, I'm a bit concerned with this early Columbus, and in the past I had some bad luck where, oh, we don't even need to destroy the temple. Um, where I had to wait for quite a bit until an H2 leader appears. Uh, right now, I think honestly almost all of these will be good, so I'm itching to get an early leader if possible. What do we want to do with our last action? We have quite a lot of science, so we could pick masonry. I mean, here's architecture, so probably not the best idea. Is this a Shakespeare game? There's no Shakespeare, so not much point getting a printing press. Yeah, not really sure what to do with this last action. Could we take one of these cards in lieu of Wave of Nationalism? Probably not. Is there a Gaudi? There's no Gaudi. I guess we're forfeiting in action? Should we blow up a temple? I don't think so. And our hand limit is not that big, and we already have 2 cards that are going to wait for a while. We might just forfeit in action. I don't want to pick up a junk card and be stuck with it later. I don't want masonry when architecture is right here. I don't want printing press when journalism is right here. Should we take monarchy instead of theocracy? Not really. I mean, maybe 6 actions are nice. And we don't need the happy face and the military. The military sends us to first place, right? And there's still quite a few nasty events here that we might want to benefit from. Yeah, I don't think this is the right way to go, and we're still stuck with the junk technology in our hand, right? Okay, I guess we're just gonna lose an action. I am tempted to pick up this masonry, but I think architecture is just gonna be so much better, and I don't think the others are gonna take it. Tukustu might. He has a lot of science right now to spend. But there's two architectures, right? Yeah. Is there a way we can wing another these reserves? Nope. Okay, let's just accept it. And we don't take the tactic. We're good in 11. Yeah, this is not gonna happen. A bit of a bummer to lose an action, but I think that's the right choice in this case. Okay, and here's selective breeding, which we might want. Here's a rifleman that we definitely want. Blix takes cartography and discovers it. Chris's pop builds another swordsman. This is quite an investment into swordsman. And takes reserves. Takustu is next. Picks up constitutional monarchy and researches it. That's a great use for the military there. Increases pop. Plays reserve for food. Increases pop again. Switches to phalanx and builds a swordsman. Okay. So we're still not last on military. We might see an event. Hopefully this is not barbarians. What should that event be? Probably popularization of science. We might actually end up transitioning into the heavy cavalry. Oh, and here's Napoleon. Interesting. Are we in war territory? Um, we could declare an easy war on territory on the Kustu. Hmm, this is tempting. Yeah, we might do this. Apply some pressure. She has a lot of military actions, but only one population and only 6 resources, nothing to boost. So she can't get another. At most, she can get +4. Yeah, let's do that. Let's be opportunistic. Plus, it gives us the early leader that we want. So here's the early leader that we wanted. And here's another dude. Oh, we don't take the rifleman. We want this rifleman. Is he gonna take the rifleman? Can we do this and take the rifleman? Nope. There's no way we have enough actions. That is a bummer. You know, giving the heavy cavalry, maybe the rifleman is not a huge deal. Yeah, we're still declaring the war on territory. And for our last action, probably this architecture. We're gonna steal at least 1 meeple, maybe 2, so food is less of an issue. There is Red Cross though, so should be mindful of that. Harvard College, don't really need it. If the arcade is in the deck, we'll be sad. But yeah, let's take the architecture. Eventually Cole is gonna show up. And this is a nice military lead to establish early on. We might switch to a cannon-based tactic, depending on what shows up from the deck. This is a bit aggressive, but I like it. What's the most military he can get? He can build 2 units, that's +4, and switch to conquistadors. Oh, wait, he could switch to classic army, right? So builds 2 units, that's +4, and switches to classical army. That's +5. So he can get 9, and then if navigation shows up, he can actually go to 21. But that's quite a lot of ifs, right? He will need classical army, which I don't think he would have switched to phalanx if he had it already. So he should have drawn it in these 3 cards and find the navigation and pick it up and research it. Yeah, so I think this is relatively safe. It could backfire, like every war. Let's keep just in case. And I think we can ditch the one of these defense cards. We're not going for colonies until our next turn. Okay. So we do have a colony, wealthy territory, and this is a bit of a bummer because we could have used this, but I don't think we can really spend anything right now. I'm guessing Ublex is gonna get this really for cheap. Oh wow, Takusto actually bid 8 on this. That's interesting. I wonder if he just did this because he knew that Plex is going to overbid. I don't think this is worth 8. I mean, I guess if he has 2 defense cards, maybe. But even if it's spent 2 armies on this, that's 6 resources, and that's the 6 resources getting back. So unclear what happened here. Very confusing turn of events. Blix indeed has a bunch of cards for this colony. Picks up Rifleman and researches it. Plays reserves. Increase population and builds yet another Rifleman. And then takes reserves. Tokustu is next, and let's see if our gamble paid off. Seeds an event, reveals Call to Arms, which loses him 2 civil actions but gives him some cards. Picks up Organized Religion, develops it, upgrades, builds a knight, and switches to Medieval Army. Okay, that makes sense. I forgot about the Medieval Army, which actually made his life easier. Still, we get 2 um, tokens. Oh gosh, I completely forgot. We have an open borders agreement, and I think this is the first time I saw it work in the context of a war. So I feel a bit guilty right now, but good for us. We got 2 tokens, and I don't think the Kustu cares that much. So I guess that's what it is. We are going to see an event. I think it's going to be popularization of science. Do we want to seed Ravages of Time? I don't think any one of them is going to care about that. Economic progress? Not really, no. So yeah, let's go with the popularization of science. We found another territory. For this one, we can actually bid a little bit. We might get it because we are first. And let's see, it's gonna get us down to 17. Yeah, we can bid this. There's no food solution here, which is a bit troubling. And we really need that second selective breeding or coal. I'm not really sure what we're gonna do. Maybe go for an opera. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we might go for an opera. We'll see. Maybe take the sufficient upgrade because we do need stones. It's a bit of a shame that we're suffering from corruption. That's the West territory to blame. Not much we can do about that, unfortunately. We could start working on the Kremlin. We might actually do that, you know? We're gonna need some help to wrap it up, but it can be done. And I think the actions would be a nice benefit. Another option is transcontinental, but we don't have anything here. So we'll have to see. But yeah, let's bid 3 on this colony. Tukustu wins the colony with a bid of 6. Okay, he has a bunch of cards in hand. but he's less than military, so let's see if any cards show up that influence that. What are we gonna do with our turn? That's a tough question. I honestly don't know. Let's see. We could pick up these team sports. Yeah, that might actually work. Let's see. Do we have enough actions for all of this? Okay, so this is one option. Pretty much fix our happiness for the rest of the game. Gain some points, gain some more military while we're at it. Allow us to get rid of corruption. And next turn, if coal shows up, we can still upgrade to it. We exactly the 6 we need, plus the science. And I think architecture is going to be helpful. We're low on actions, we're low on resources, and there's still Eiffel Tower and Louvre coming up. I think we would want to snag either one of these for points. We're a bit behind, but 8 points at this point in the game, 9 points doesn't really matter. I'm not really sure what are the other options, and at least part of it is this corruption. I really don't want to lose two stones right now, and not really sure how to deal with it given that we don't really have. I mean, I would love to have this efficient upgrade. I guess we can pick up some yellows, right? Oh, instead of team sports, maybe we can go for opera. No, we don't have enough stones for that. Even if we could get architecture, which we can't, we don't have the resources. This could have been a nice opera game, except we already forfeited Bach. There is Marlene Dietrich. So we might want to look into opera. Another option is to pick up the Kremlin, start working on it, but we don't really have any resources. There's still an engineering genius in the deck, but the reserves are gone. We're basically banking on engineering genius and 2 turns of resource gain, plus we won't be able to get the coal when it shows up. So I'm not really happy with that. Blix might be competing for coal with us. Honestly, Takustu as well. They don't have the science for it though. I like maintaining the military lead, and I think it does make the other's life a bit more complicated. There's still raiders and border conflict potentially in the deck, and uncertain borders as well, any of which is going to help us with spending some resources. Good harvest as well, so there's several potential cards that could help us with spending resources. Okay, so this is not an ideal course of action, but this does get us off corruption, it fixes potential future happy face problems, it puts architecture on the board, which will be helpful down the line, I think. And right now we're pretty much playing the waiting game for coal, and if it doesn't show up, we're gonna pick up any potential yellow that we can. We're not gonna have corruption next turn. Oh, we will, unfortunately, because of this food, which is not ideal. So yeah, we have a little bit of military advantage. It's not huge. If Blixit doesn't improve his military, we might attack him next turn because he needs 2 defense cards, and we saw that 2 of them are already gone. He might upgrade some warriors. We'll see. Yeah, I don't think this Ravage is gonna happen. At this point, the Roman roads is serving us really well. No aggressions, unfortunately, but we did get some colonization cards. If inhabited territory shows up, that would be fantastic. And honestly, developed as well might be helpful. No coal yet, unfortunately. I will pick up this frugality if it slides all the way, because it translates into another person. Likewise, if these cannons slide, or if the less rifleman shows up. But yeah, at this point we're playing the waiting game for anything, really. We might take journalism if we can get one of these urban growths. We're nearing a place where we might get stuck, so I'm a bit concerned about how to proceed from this board state. We'll see what the row brings up.
Blix takes patriotism, efficient upgrade, plays reserves for 4 resources, and upgrades his swordsman, going up to 17 strength, using all of these actions along the way. Goes to his next, picks up cannon, which is a shame, I wanted that. Bach, opera, increased population, builds a swordsman, going up to 17 strength, and playing cultural heritage. So she took Bach, but she didn't take. Oh, she did take opera. Okay. We're up, and I'm pretty unhappy with this turn of events. We're doing rather poorly, to be honest, and we're not seeing the technologies that we need at this point. There's no blue technologies. For example, navigation could have been nice at this point, or strategy, and we might actually transition into constitutional monarchy just because we have the science and nothing to do with it. We don't see coal, and the selective breeding has gone away, and the reserves are gone. So I'm pretty unhappy. The good news is that nobody sees an event, so I guess we should. And I think there's a reasonable chance we could pick up navigation. I mean, we need 12 science for selective breeding and coal, and we already have that plus change. So we might be able to get navigation. Let's try this historic territory. We're not seeing these wonders either. I mean, transcontinental is here, but doesn't really help us at the moment, right? And hopefully this triggers something that helps us. Okay, good harvest. That's actually nice, because it allows us to do something with our resources and get out of corruption. So let's do that. I guess we could build a... We might as well build a mine, right? Because we're in a bit of a pickle in that regard. So yeah, let's pick up this mine. This is a bit sad. I was hoping to use this for coal. And let's get this efficient upgrade. And I was considering frugality, but I'm not sure we need it at the moment. Here's a cannon. And do we think Blix is gonna pay 3 actions for it? 5, 2, probably not. He might pay 2, and Tukustu already has his. Yeah, we probably want that cannon once it shows up. Although we don't have any tactics for it right now. Yeah, I'm pretty much hoping Blix doesn't pick it up. He's heavily invested into Rifleman and he has the Colosseum, so I think it's safe. I will take... We could take Opera and maybe go for Marlene Dietrich. He's gonna complement our current military stance well. Another option is Mandela. Mandela's tricky because picking him up is so expensive, and the timing around him is difficult. Yeah, there's also Churchill, maybe Gates. Yeah, there's decent leader choices here. They are somewhat contingent on getting computers. Yeah, Jobs, Gates, both benefit from computers. Marie Curie as well. I think we're gonna take the revolutionary idea. I don't want Blix to get it for 1 action. And I don't think we really need anything else. We could pick up Opera, but we're not really in a place to set it up. I'm honestly not sure in which place we are. I'm not super happy with this game. It's a bit of a mess. I guess we could try for the engineering genius, but in the remainder of this round, I really want to use my time for coal. and selective breeding, though the others compete for it. Yeah, I think the infrastructure is not strong enough to support the Louvre or Eiffel Tower. We might just put a hold on them. And let's hope some of the technologies we need actually show up. I don't think we're going to go with scientific cooperation. And honestly, neither economic progress. I don't think that's going to happen either. So there's three technologies we need right now. Let's hope one of them shows up. We can take these cannons as well. Okay, here's the call, and here's the selective breeding, and here's the navigation. So of course, when they show up, they all show up at the same time. Out of this, we'll probably prioritize the call, but if we're lucky, maybe we can pick these two, research the call, upgrade. Yeah, if we're really lucky, no, we want the cannons. So I think an ideal situation is pick up, pick up, pick up, research call, upgrade. We'll see how it goes with the others.
Blix takes Robespierre, which makes perfect sense. I wonder if he's going to take in H2 technology or... Okay, that answers my question. Not waiting for H3. Probably a good idea. Gets frugality, upgrades a farm, picks up the engineering genius, and the last cannons. Ouch. That is unfortunate. I should have considered the Republic option. The Kustu seeds an event, reveals border conflict, so we're getting some stones, that's wonderful. Increases population, picks up the coal, the rifleman, builds a temple, and takes the breakthrough. So this turn has been pretty painful, cause we missed up on practically everything we wanted to pick up. And we don't have the coal. There is another one in the deck. And we can get both selective breeding and navigation. Maybe now is a good time to see another colony, which we don't have. We couldn't put immigration. I don't think anyone's going to be affected, but we're still ahead in military. So, okay, so we get a happy face, and we get the population. Is now the time to push on the Louvre. We can finish it next turn, right? If we don't use, we have to. I mean, I guess we can do this. That could work, you know? And we're gonna finish it next turn, which is reasonable. It means it's going to be worth around 30 points, actually. And then I guess we take the selective breeding. Yeah, this is a red cross game. So I think we are going to take the selective breeding and take care of it next turn. This was nice. The timing on this border conflict was perfect. We do have a bit too much science, but the deck can't have Dark Ages anymore. We might just wait until democracy shows up. And looking at the deck, there's strategy. We might want to pick that up. Picking cards is going to be more difficult now. Both of these guys have a lot of actions. The good news is that neither one of them is going to compete for H3 governments. Also, I need to remember that my science production is going down now. This is the last turn I'm getting the Roman roads science bonus. But we are gearing up for points. And I think we're set up nicely with these cards. A bit of a shame I could not pick up this navigation or open growth, but I think that finishing the Louvre on turn 1 of H3 is a worthy compromise. And we're ready for... Once we do this, we're going to be ready for Red Cross, though I think that Blix might be gearing up for it as well with this frugality. So we'll have to see what's the timing on that. There's still one less call, though I suspect it might be too late for it. I think we're going to go for democracy and try to snatch yellows. But we should prepare for a resource poor H3, which could be complicated. We have no cannons. Yeah, our army is going to become obsolete very quickly. So this is something to watch out for. Yeah, I think that's going to be the big threat. I think we're going to get the Louvre and then try to figure out the military situation. Selective breeding and wave of nationalism are going to help. Any yellows left? There is an urban growth left. So let's see which of these cards we're going to get. These can go. The age is done. Wow, if only we had these cannons. Okay, yeah, I think cannons are top priority right now. Probably too late for the coal. The good news is everyone is poor on resources. If oil shows up right now, maybe we'll try to get it. This is going to be a difficult H3. I'm pretty concerned about the military situation. Blix declares war over technology and Takustu. Picks up the strategy, the cavalryman, plays frugality, that's a lot of unhappiness, which he's just totally ignoring. Develops cavalryman, plays patriotism, builds a knight, adopts phalanx. Okay, Takustu is next. Offers me a promise of military protection. We're probably gonna accept this, right? Because points are good, and it's going to be worth probably 5 to 6 points. Yeah, this is fine. He's still gonna have to sweat a bit to fix this. So yeah, I'm happy with this. I'll take the points. Takustu takes Churchill, elects Churchill, and then uses Churchill to discover cannons, blows up a lab for cannons. Uh-oh. And adopts defensive army. Okay, this could have gone worse. Funny that Blix is gonna lose some science here. So we're up. Here's the democracy that we want. Unfortunately, there's no rockets yet. Would we like to seed an event? We might as well, right? But we might want the international trade agreement. So let's wait on this for a sec. I'm pretty sure we want an early democracy. We need points. And then we're gonna finish the Louvre. So we just jumped tremendously on our point generation, which is wonderful. However, we need to do something about our military sooner rather than later. Um, we could use this wave of nationalism for a night. It's a bit of a waste, but it's better than nothing. Yeah, I really think it's too late for this coal. I might as well pick up patriotism, I guess. Yeah, so I think our goal moving forward is just to not die, pretty much. Um, shall we offer the international trade agreements to someone? Blix is in a sorry state. I guess we can offer it to him. What's going on with all this unhappiness? Or we could put the international agreement into the deck. It is a powerful card and it might show up earlier than we're ready. On the other hand, triggering popularization of science now seems to make sense to me. Yeah, let's try offering the international trade agreement to Blix and see if he agrees to this. A bit painful that we're stuck with exactly 3 food. Let's see if he agrees. Okay, Blix accepted the pact. That's nice. So we're going to generate a bit more resources this game. I'm still gonna go for the democracy plan. Actions are good. I'm still gonna go with the Louvre plan. What are we doing with the rest? These don't seem relevant at the moment, so we can just disregard them. Could be super greedy by taking Eiffel Tower, but I think that's a bit too greedy. We could start working on selective breeding right now. Which means delaying our military by a turn. I mean, it's gonna look like this, right? Oh, we don't have the resources anyway. And the efficient upgrade doesn't get us there. We can't avoid this corruption, right? Because of the Louvre. But that's fine, because we're gonna lose food first. Oh yeah, that's actually totally fine. We don't mind losing food first. So... What do we need more, urban growth or patriotism? Yeah, I really think that protecting ourselves by military is gonna be the way to go this game. Which leader are we aiming for? This early Churchill is gonna serve Green so well. We might still go for Mandela, or Gates or Jobs, if we get the right technology. This wave is gonna be 6 strength, right? What we really want to see is rockets. Let's play it safe with patriotism. Should we take the scientific method? It could work with Gates. If Gates showed up, we might replace these with the scientific method and be pretty happy. And it lowers this pressure to get computers. So let's do it. I think I want it more than frugality. So we're generating a nice chunk of points. Now it's just about defending them. And hopefully between these yellows and the bonus from the Louvre, we should be fine. I will feel better once we have tanks or um, honestly any military technology. We only have knights at the moment. It's pretty pathetic. Okay. Yep, we're just gonna lose the 2 food. That's fine with us. I don't think we're gonna see the international agreement. These 2 tactics are good. I think we should keep both. There is an hysteric Tory in the deck though, and that's gonna be important. So should I skip on a colonization card or on one of these tactics? Yeah, let's keep on a colonization card. Hmm. Is Napoleonic army even an option? Modern infantry is 10, rockets is 8, that's 18 science. We currently have 10. Oh, 14. Yeah, so Napoleonic could happen. I'm just gonna give up on a defense card. Let's hope we draw another one before the historic shows up. Yeah, here we did. That's good. Oh, here's a military theory. I wonder if there's a chance we can get that. Either military theory or satellites will be pretty nice. These yellows will be nice as well. So I'm happy that these showed up at the end of the card row, although both of these guys have a nice chunk of actions. So we'll see. Impact of variety. Um, if we get one of these, plus, let's say, cannons, I can see us going for variety. Blix takes professional sports, urban growth, reserves, and engineering. So, lots of technologies that he can't really use right now. Plus, he's still behind the military. Takustu is next. Seeds an event and reveals popularization of science. Perfect, that's what we wanted to see. Takes the military theory, unfortunately. Develops it. Takes the urban growth. Upgrades the temple. Uses Churchill for another swordsman. And takes the satellites. That really sucks. These are the two blue technologies that we wanted. So, we are still gaining points here. I don't think we want to see this impact of variety. Right now, Tukustu is going to get a lot of points from it. There is an Air Forces here that we might want to take, or we can hope that Blix is going to take it, although he's pretty heavy on his hand. So we might have to bite the bullet and take them. Here's Hollywood and Internet. None of them really helps anyone that much. This computer is very tempting because Steve Jobs and Bill Gates are here. So we might just pick it up so we have it. Let's see. Let's start working on this selective breeding. Oh man. Yeah, we need to take Air Forces, we need to take computers. And I think we're skipping on modern infantry. I don't think that's the direction the game is going. I'm gonna play this revolutionary idea. Or maybe instead we should cash on some of this louvre and upgrade selective breeding again. That's gonna look like this. We're still last on military. We can defend ourselves from an aggression. But yeah, and Takustu can't get another one, right? Because he has 7 and he needs 8, so he can't get another activation of the tactic. He can get satellites and build the cannon, which will give him another 5, putting him at 15. But if he attacks us, he goes down to 31. We can't build a single air force, right? No, we don't have enough. Let's wait with this. I think we might go up to 3, then next turn break this up and go up to 4 and use that. Let's undo this for a sec. Maybe modern infantry is safer. Here's how it's gonna look. We can do this. Now we can cache these, right? Yeah, I think this is safer. We're still facing corruption, unfortunately. We can ban one Louvre upgrade, and that fixes our corruption situation. We're gaining a bit less points, unfortunately. I think this is probably enough for second place. What do we need for first place? We should probably take computers. And we might still go for a Bill Gates. Although next turn we're facing corruption again with 5, which honestly I don't know really how to use. Oh, we can just use it to upgrade another warrior, right? Okay, so let's pick up these computers. And sure, these professional sports. Is there a way where we didn't need to use the Louvre? Because I really need these points, I think. We're going for modern infantry, that's for sure. So this puts us at 8. This puts us at 10. Okay, so let's go with this. Upgrade these twice. We don't have corruption. That's good. This patriotism doesn't help us at the moment. We have 4 actions. I don't see us going for a wonder, but we can take. Oh, could we take space flight? There's still 3 reserves and an engineering genius in the deck. I think computer's gonna be more sensible. I wonder if this is the way to go. So we're gonna gain 4, and we can figure out what to do with them next turn. It might be selective breeding. No idea what this event is. Yeah, I think this puts us in running for. I think this. I think we're getting second place. Um, let's see if we can get first. If we can ride the Louvre and democracy. Since we did this student event, should we break down the promise of military protection? Hmm. We lose some points. Let's say we cancel this pact. Then we still go for the modern infantry with the wave of nationalism. And we take these technologies. We gain slightly less points, and Tukusta gets slightly more points, but we're currently ahead in military, which could be quite important for something like crime wave, refugees, politics of strength, international negotiations. Yeah, I think that's what's gonna happen. We're ahead in strength for at least 2 turns. I guess Blex could try and fix his situation. He's probably going for professional sports, and that's gonna cost him 3 of these resources. He have enough resources though. Yeah, he's probably going for professional sports, which is gonna put him at 25. But I don't think he's getting to for 28. It's a shame we only drank 2 cards here, but I guess that's the way it's gonna be. There is another military theory, but science, not our strong suit right now. There's still 3 revolutionary ideas, which are probably going to be on a first come first serve basis. We're all starting for science here. So at this point we can discard this tactic, because if we get rockets we're going to get the Napoleonic army. I don't see a war happening, to be honest. And we can still play the impact of variety, right? If we get, let's say, rockets and military strength. So let's keep it. Let's discard one of the colonization cards. Should we discard one of the colonization cards? We know that there is an historic territory coming. We know it's going to be a big deal. Yeah, I think they're going to be more important than the impact of variety. It's reasonable to assume that historic territory is going to show up sooner rather than later. And we want this +7. Okay, and we've got an impact of science. That's perfect. We're not getting this revolutionary idea. That's a shame. I think there's a reasonable chance we're getting impact of science, and we might replace this international trade agreement with international tourism, which is going to be worth 8 points. But yeah, I think this impact of science is happening next turn. There's only one computer left. No one is really in a place to utilize it, and there's a sensible chance we're going to get our computers going, not next turn, but the following one. So this was a good draw. Blixit doesn't see an event, develops professional sports, and builds it, going up to 25 strength. Picks up revolutionary idea, not surprising. Plays reserves, builds a cavalryman, takes patriotism. So he's at 31. Takustu is next, seeds an event, and reveals Independence Declaration. Oh wow, that's nice. He's losing some strength here, and really happy that I worked on that strength on my turn. Picks up military buildup, uses Churchill to develop riflemen, increases pop, picks up the air forces, builds a cannon, and upgrades his swordsman. So we are tied on strength, and yeah, given the deck situation, I think it's time to seed this impact of science. We're still second on resources. On military, we can easily rebuild in the event that we hit a colony. So let's do this. Cold War, perfect. Um, this has gone extremely well. So here's computers, and let's upgrade this. Unfortunately, we cannot upgrade again, nor can we upgrade this infantry. However, if we use patriotism and build this, we're good on corruption. There's also rockets here and air forces. We're ahead on points, right? Yes. So upgrading this is gonna cost 4. I'm pretty sure we want these reserves, and we should probably pick up the rockets and the military theory. Yeah, I think this is an acceptable place to be. Blix might be going for the Red Cross, so we might have to keep these reserves for that. And for leaders, there's a slight chance we'll take chief jobs. He might actually drop off, to be honest. If he's not, we might take him. Bill Gates probably going to be worth war for us. Looks like Bill Gates is going to be worth at least 6 points at the end, plus some resources, and we might be able to squeeze, I don't know, in movies or upgrade our food based on him. I am a bit worried about iconoclasm. It will cost us 4 strength right now. Although, even that wouldn't be the end of the world. Should we have picked up something else? I don't think we need any of these. We could get tanks instead of rockets, I guess, because we're not very strong on on population. So I mean we can disassemble these and build rockets instead, right? In fact, maybe I should dismantle one of them now. Let me think about that. We could dismantle one of them now. No, no. Let's keep it in the event that we see the historic territory. Immigration, we're not concerned about. Nobody is. I really wish that historic territory shows up sooner rather than later. Takustu can't get his satellites, so that's good. And yeah, unfortunately, we discarded the military theory, the variety, which I think was the reasonable move. Yeah, how many turns are left? We have 2 turns left, right? We have 2 turns left, which means we're going to finish the game with 19 science, which is rockets and military theory, assuming we can use these reserves to upgrade the last computers. Um, we're aiming for Bill Gates, I think. He's going to give us 6 points, and it's nice to replace Napoleon late because he's guarding us, at least for the time being. Um, oh, one of these is patriotism. Wait, so maybe we do want to break up a warrior, because usually we only have 4 military actions. I think it's fine. I think we only have one more turn to draw anyway. We can keep the international tourism. It's going to be worth 4 points for us. Should we keep the Napoleonic army? Let's do it just in case. In the event that there's a surprise war or something, one rocket is gonna give us 12 minus 6, 6 strength. And we can actually build 2 rockets pretty easily, right? We have 14. So if necessary, we can build 2 rockets and get Napoleonic army. So let's keep that as insurance. What should go away? I think the tourism should go away. I think there's a reasonable chance this historic territory shows up sooner rather than later, and I want to be prepared for that. I think that this territory might decide the game. Impact of progress. That would be fantastic if we get the military theory. It will be worth 18 points for us. Takustu might still get his satellites, and Blix might get either engineering or strategy. But we're ahead on this, and we're going to be even further ahead. So reasonable chance we're going to sit it. I don't think we're going to declare a war on anyone unless something really weird happens over here. Here's Nelson Mandela, which we might actually pick up if he goes all the way here, and we can get him for 4 civil elections. It's pretty expensive, but we're going to get one of them back immediately, and hopefully we're going to have. Yeah, if that happens, we might build the team sports ahead of the computers upgrade. We'll see. Hopefully we can get both. And team sports puts us here, which means we're going to get 7 plus 4, 11 points from Mandela. Okay, right now I'm pretty optimistic. None of the wonders are showing up, which is good. There's 2 reserves here. Hopefully we're going to get at least one of them, although it's hard to say. And yeah, we're ahead on points by a little bit, and I'm pretty sure that the only impact we're going to score it. The only wonder which is left is International Red Cross, and there's only 2 colonies, so worst case scenario is that Blix gets it and builds 2 parts, 3 parts for 18 points, and then each of us gets 6. Actually, he might get 4 points. We'll see. Although if he does that, I'm pretty sure that Tegustu should be able to declare war on him. I feel pretty safe as far as wars are concerned. The +6 from the Louvre is amazing as always. We have the reserves, we have enough military actions to build 2 rockets and adopt Napoleonic army. Let's do the math around that again. I don't think it's a concern because Tegustu doesn't have that many resources. I mean, he has 13 right now, which is enough for. Yeah, it's actually enough for an air forces and another one of these. So let's see how much strength Tegustu can get. He can't research satellites yet. So let's say he declares war the next turn. he builds. He has 13 resources, so he builds one air forces and one rifleman. Yep. So the rifleman is gonna give him another 9, putting him at 37, and the air forces is gonna give him another 11, putting him at 48. So he's gonna be at 48. We're gonna lose Napoleon, so we're gonna go down to 29 by the time the war is resolved. And what else is gonna happen there? We're gonna be at 29, and we're gonna switch out of the phalanx, so we're gonna be at 23. But we will get two rocket men, which is 33, plus two Napoleonic army, which is 47. Yeah, 47 is against 48 is totally fine. So I feel pretty safe with that war. And we can dismantle these mines. We could replace one warrior. So we're going to be at 46. Yeah, so we'll take a mine and a warrior, or maybe two mines. We'll build two rockets and get Napoleonic army, and we'll be fine. Yeah, I think that's the most you can aim for right now, if I'm reading this correctly. Oh, we can't even research air forces. Yeah, this is a war is not happening here. This is nothing to worry about. Yeah, I think now it's just let's maximize points. We're safe. Let's maximize points. Sorry for bothering you with this irrelevant calculation.
Blix declares a war on culture on us, plays patriotism, picks up air forces, plays revolutionary idea, develops air forces, builds air forces, adopts classical army, takes reserves, and endowment for the arts. So somehow when I did the math, I didn't think about Blix declaring war, but I think we should be fine. Tukustu also declares war on us, destroys a mine, destroys another mine, destroys this third mine, plays build up, uses Churchill, builds a rifleman, picks up reserves, and builds a cannon, and another cannon, and adopts political army. That was a really interesting way to end an age. So do we want the impact of progress? Let's wait for a minute and see what we're doing here. So, yeah, so we're gonna discover these rockets, and um, yeah, we want to build two rockets, right? So we're gonna need all of these and two people. So here are the rockets, and here is our Napoleonic army. Unfortunately, we're gonna lose 6, so we're gonna go down to 47. Oh, and actually, we're not gonna lose it until after Blix's turn. So we're gonna win on Blix, and we're gonna lose 7 points to the Kustu, which is fine, I think. So here's a revolutionary idea. Do we want jobs? I think we might as well pick him up, right? He's gonna give us some happy faces in case there's an impact of happiness, and it's gonna give us, I guess, 4 points. Um, we could wait for Gates, but Gates is also gonna give us. Oh, we don't have any resources for jobs, so let's wait. I do want to pick up this efficient upgrade to get the final computer, and we don't want to finish the age. Okay, we're not finishing the age. Is there any way we can squeeze more military out of this? I don't think so. We don't have any resources, right? Is this gonna help us get the last computer. Yeah, that's exactly what we need for the last computer. And we can get the military theory, which means we might see the impact of progress. However, at the start of the turn, we are last on military. Plus, there are two territories coming up, so and immigration, which is not going to hurt us. Yeah, I don't think we're going to see this yet. Let's see it next turn. I don't want to risk anything, which is about me being last. Super dangerous. So we're going to skip this. We're going to go for the rockets plan. Thank you, Louvre, for saving the day. We're going to blow up the mines to build the rockets and adopt the Napoleonic army. And take the revolutionary idea for the military theory and efficient upgrade for the computers. We have 1 actions left. We might as well take tanks. Hopefully we can get gates for 6 points. That will be nice. So we're gonna get 14 points from Plex and then lose 7 points to Kustu. Plus, yeah, I think we got this, but Blix could get a lot of points from the Red Cross. But that's not a huge deal because we are taking a lot of points from him. I don't know how close this game is going to be. We'll see. Interesting game. We're not going to clear off war anyone. Oh, I could have discarded the H2s. No, there may still be a colony coming up. Okay, we got some points.
Okay, so we got some points from Blix, and he declares another war. Takes Marlene Dietrich. Interesting. Should we have taken Marlene Dietrich last turn? Maybe. Builds cavalryman. He's at 57. Okay, so we're gonna lose some points now because Napoleon goes away. Yes, we lose 7 points. Tekustu also has another war. Pretty unfortunate. Uses Churchill to get air forces. Breaks down a knights for an air forces, so he's at 64. And then destroys a lab for his unhappiness. Plays urban growth for a temple. Picks up efficient upgrade and multimedia. So this is pretty bad. We're gonna lose a lot of points here. I am gonna put the impact, cause why not? And crime wave, so we lose another 3 points. That's unfortunate. Yeah, we're gonna get the military theory, which puts us at 52. We're gonna lose a lot of points. We're gonna lose 10 plus 17. We're gonna lose 27 points. So I think we're still going for second, but I'm pretty sure that Takustu is going to be first now. Especially if these guys have armed interventions. We can block the armed intervention from Blix, but not from Takustu. So that is a bit of a shame, but I guess that's how the game is just going to be. Here's Bill Gates, and here's our efficient upgrade. And we can actually get another computers next turn, if necessary. We can get civil service, right? That's going to give us another 4 points for the impact of progress. And yeah, let's do that. Yeah, so this is pretty bad. I mean, we can finish this turn, right? Blix takes 10 points from us, so what's the point situation? Yeah, I think now it's really a question of does Takustu has an armed intervention as well? How is he getting more points? He doesn't really, right? So Takustu is going to take 17 points from us, which means we're going to go down to 49, and he's gonna... Oh, it's Blixit's turn. Politics of Strength. so we just lose another 3 points. Yeah, that's unfortunate. We needed these two cards to show up, not these two cards to show up. I think this third territory could have been amazing right now. There's still a minor chance that Kustu steals an event and then we might get this third territory. I would have much preferred that Blix declares an armed intervention that I can dodge. Okay, so right now Takustu is 1 point ahead of us, but we're gonna lose 17 points. So yeah, so he's gonna be 35 points ahead of us, and that's before any armed interventions. Um, we're gonna go down to 66, and then up to 46, and then up to 53, and we're gonna get 14 points here and another. I think it was 12. Okay, Blick starts the International Red Cross, develops engineering, builds 2 stages, and destroys a mine. Oh, and builds an arena. Upgrades a swordsman, plays damage for the arts. We lose 17 points. Are we going to be last, actually? I don't think we will. I think we're going to be second. Because Blix is at 61. The worst case scenario is he's got an impact of strength. And we are going to get 9 points from Gates. Plus 14 from the impact of science. Impact of progress, though, he has 3, 5, 6, 7, and we're gonna have 3, 6, 8, 11. So yeah, I think I'm gonna end up second, but let's see what the Kustu does. Um, yeah. Blix reveals politics of strength, begins construction of International Red Cross, develops engineering, builds 2 stages, and then destroys a mine and builds an arena. Oh, and upgrades a swordsman. So he got a nice chunk of points from this, and we're in pretty dire straits. The war is done, we lose 17 points, and Takustu has the armed intervention as well. Unfortunately, we only have 1 defense card, so we're gonna have to concede this. Yeah, and the end game here has gone pretty bad. I think we might be able to recover to second place, maybe. We'll see. We're gonna have 46 points. We have 2 impacts that help us quite a bit. So we're gonna have Bill Gates giving us 9 points. So we'll see if we can salvage second place. To upgrade the temple, and that is all. Let's see if we can salvage second place. No politics. I think the only thing we have here is civil service and building a computers, pretty much. Yeah, I think that's about it. There's so many options for this event card, and really don't have any flex from here. We know that this gives us 4 points with impact of progress, and we know that this helps us with Bill Gates, gives us 3 points. There might be an impact of happiness. Yeah, if it's an impact of happiness, then let's have a quick look. Should we do this instead? This is going to give us 6 points for impact of happiness, and we can actually do this and go up to, yeah. So maybe that's the way it's going to be. Which other impacts could this be? I mean, computer is going to give us 3 points for Bill Gates, so that's a guaranteed 3 points. What else could there be in here? Not competition. Sorry, not culture. I don't think harmony. Yeah, not harmony. I'm doubtful that it's balance. Yeah, not balance. Maybe technology, but then computers versus this doesn't matter. Science we put in. It could be happiness. Strength doesn't really matter for us. Architecture, this helps. Government, we prefer the computers. Colonies doesn't matter. Population doesn't matter. Wonders doesn't matter. Competition, we prefer the team sports. I think that I think there's a reasonable chance this is happiness, and in that case, we prefer to get these 10 points. So if it's not happiness and I lose by 3 points, then you live and learn. Okay, so we toss the dice. Let's see what we get. So this is our impact of science. This is our impact of progress. Impact of colonies, interesting. And we get the points from Bill Gates. So, yeah, we could have gotten 3 more points by building another computers. And, yeah, this was really just an armed intervention away, right? So we managed to deal with 3 out of the 4 aggressions. Very interesting game. I think that just thinking about the end game, maybe I could have picked Marlene a turn earlier instead of letting Blix pick it up. Because Blix won his war on us based on Marlene. And I could have seen it. I could have predicted it. And I think that we could have used Marlene ourselves somehow. I think that I thought I'm going enough. I knew that I'm getting the points from Louvre and Democracy. I thought I'm getting enough assurances for military, but I was wrong, evidently. And I think there was some unluck, some bad luck with the 2 of these drawing 4 wars out of essentially 5. But there was also poor planning on my end, and I could have been. I mean, these guys don't have ridiculous amounts of military, right? I could have shifted priorities a little bit and matched them better. Then, looking at the early game, I am wondering whether I'm overestimating. Um, oh gosh, I forgot his name. I'm blanking out. Whether I'm overestimating Columbus, even with West Territory. I think that the one-time boost from West Territory 1 is not as good as I make it, and I have another game that might come down to that. I think that in this case, maybe other Age 1 leaders, um, Nostradamus, for example, could have been stronger. And yeah, I think that my Age 2 was relatively strong, but I did not prepare enough. I didn't prepare enough for military in Age 3. And yeah, now that I think about it, I was about to blame the mines, but everyone was low on resources. This has been a weird game in that regard, so I'm not sure what to comment about that. Anyhow, good game. Second place. So let's see how the rest of the tournament goes.